How's it, everybody? We're out here in the Aupua of Kealia, and we got served with some notices. Well, we never get served. They tried to serve us some notices to vacate the place, and they wanted to put trespass signs and government signs over here. But how can they trespass us on our own land? You know, we've been watching them with this biosecurity thing with the Department of Agriculture. We knew what was coming even before the Lahaina fires, even before the rhinoceros beetles and all these pests that they brought in. They bring in the pests and then they create the biohazard, and then they come in and deem your land condemned until they fix the problem.
Okay, we're here with Samson in Mokuleia in Kaena, and putting out the kahea because some government officials came and said that you folks who've been taking care of this land cannot stay here. And only you folks, yeah?
Only us. Yeah. Only us.
And they said something about biosecurity.
Yeah, biosecurity. The Department of Agriculture and Biosecurity. That's who's trying to move us.
How do you have biosecurity without Kanaka?
I don't know how you do that.
Doesn't seem right. And just to show you folks have been taking care, you've been removing invasive species, you've been making a mala back here where there's nothing but kohaole, right? And other invasives. So I can see, and you folks have cleaned up this whole area on both sides, yeah, and have been taking care in general, yeah. So you're asking for people to come down because they said that they were going to come 6:30 this morning, yeah. And as we know, they might. The government likes to fake out, right? So they'll sometimes they don't come when they say they're going to come, but then they'll come later, yeah. So we do need for folks to come down, right, and stand with these folks for as long as it takes. Yeah, is that what that's what I'm hearing? Yeah, you got any other requests?
No, that's it. And when you come down there, make sure you bring your stuff. Will make you comfortable, you and your family, and with more bathrooms out there. So if you gotta bring a bucket, and some bags, and your bathroom down the road. So, but we're here, just holding space and making sure the injustice is, served for these guys. Because how many years we're gonna have to deal with this? And I'm pretty sure the 100-year contract is up.
Right. And this is a beautiful place, by the way. This is, it's really beautiful ocean. And these guys have done a lot of work, taking care and making them real nice. So please come down and support Samson and Ohana. Okay, mahalo.
Mahalo. We gotta get the Kanakas in first because the Kanakas know about the land. Kanakas know about the Aina, know about the Vai, the water, the springs, and let us open up our beaten paths of our ancestors. And I think we all can live Aupua style living, go back to Aupua. Because if we go back to Aupua style living, we wouldn't have to worry about the landfills because we wouldn't waste anything, we wouldn't hoard anything, and go back to the basic instructions of everything around us is our icebox. So that way we don't have to hoard it. That way the life cycle of the things that we gather still can continue to build the life cycle. And I think if we live Aupua style living, we wouldn't have to be causing traffic on the roads. That would alleviate the traffic on the roads because we would be in our Aupua watching everything that's happening. We would be able to know who's our neighbors. Fulani people nowadays, they don't even know their neighbors. They don't even know the people that surround them. And now we're coming to a point where we outnumbered, and all they want to do is just eliminate us. So I think now is the time to fight and follow the journey. But I guess we're going to work in Aina a little while after. Yeah, right before kind of, according to their DOT road, it's a state park. But according to our ancestors, this is our home. This is Alia. This is not a state park. And yeah, we would want to maybe not challenge the jurisdiction, but we know who has jurisdiction over us, and I guess we got to go to the next step and bring it one step higher. So I guess now we're bringing everybody together, everybody coming together and helping out, and we started to learn more now. You know, plenty of people never know about Hawaiian history and about our history because our language was taken. You know, we're a dead language, and according to them, but we're not dead. We're well alive, and we know that we can go back home, go back to Aina, go back to living a way that is more sustainable for us and our future generations.
The park over there, the pillars, they started to not allow.
Yeah, after the storms, they're not allowing anybody to go in. They said it's temporarily closed, but how long is temporary? A lot of our kupuna, they like to drive inside because they cannot walk that far because they're getting old, you know. So they like drive their car inside to practice their cultural gathering rites. And if they block that gate, and then they don't have no timeline on when they're going to open them, then something is wrong. Oh.
Used to be roads going all the way to Y9.
Yeah.
But no more.
Yeah.
Now nobody can even drive back there no more.
Yeah, you cannot even. The gate's still locked right now. Yep. They're not even letting the fishermen go inside them.
Vehicles, not even bikes allowed back there anymore.
Yeah, but they do movies in the back though.
Yeah.
Or movies.
Well,
Just like you were doing before at Makua when
Yeah.
Jason Momoa was filming.
Chief of
Yeah.
War.
Yeah, Chief of War.
Yeah.
And when they were doing that, you were mentioning some of the things they were doing there. And
Yeah.
same thing over here.
Because they was telling the wrong history about our place.
Yeah, that's all because of American history.
Yeah.
If you was to tell
American
Hawaiian history, we was perfectly fine with everybody around the world.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like we never have no problems. We had treaty with almost everybody.
Everybody,
Trade
yeah.
system.
Yeah.
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 But then once America came to find
Mm-hmm.
the Hawaiian Islands,
Yeah.
fucking everything went straight downhill.
Down here, yeah.
Yeah. Because nobody understood how Hawaiians was compared to everybody else on the island. You
Yeah,
know what I
we're
mean?
always flourishing over here.
Yeah, we had so much aloha for
Yeah,
everybody
aloha for
on the world,
everybody, yeah.
everybody in the world.
Well,
But then America came to be and
well,
they shut everything down.
Yeah.
Hawaiian style.
well,
Everything Hawaiian style they shut down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then they brought all of the diseases.
Diseases and they said fucking Hawaiian language was a dead language.
Well,
that's
crazy,
fucked,
yeah.
bro. Yeah.
Well.
That's the most fucked up thing
Well.
for Taiwan Hawaiian
Yeah.
is
Their
their
language
their
there.
history.
Yeah.
Not even their language, their history is
Well.
dead.
Well, yeah, that's crazy, bro.
I go, yeah, that's fucked.
Well,
Dude, I mean, I'm only fucking 24. I'm young, bro.
Yeah.
I'm fucking. And for know this much Hawaiian history
yeah,
between holy history is crazy.
well, it is. Yeah,
It's
so
like-
they don't teach none of that
Yeah,
stuff.
in school they don't teach Hawaiian history. They
Yeah.
teach holy history.
Yeah,
They teach the mainland history, what they did for conquer the
yeah,
islands.
yeah,
I go, they don't teach what Hawaiians did for
Yeah.
conquer the islands, what they did for the islands.
and all we had to
I
go
go,
through.
everybody was at peace before.
Yep,
I go, nowadays everybody fighting against the government system.
yep, because we never have no swear words
Yeah,
in our language.
Samoans had the most. Yeah, I swear to God, Samoans had the most, but Hawaiians had zero.
Zero,
Yeah,
Yeah.
Hawaiians had no swear
that's how you
language
know how
in
pure-
their language
yeah.
at
How
all.
pure we was
Yeah.
back then. Yeah,
Yeah,
we never have
everything
no
was straight.
reason to cuss.
Before everything was straight aloha.
Well,
Yeah. Nowadays, fucking, you don't see that anywhere.
well,
Barely.
well,
Only like this.
yeah,
When you something gotta happen
gotta happen.
during the time. Yeah,
Well,
it's the only time you see it.
well.
before the storm, you guys were over here.
Yes.
Then what did you see like after changes like right after the storm to how they do stuff?
Yeah, right after the storm. Right now, they know that the land and the contaminants in the soil that's coming down with all the sediment from all that mud and debris that came down. They know that the land now is considered toxic. So what they're gonna do is come in and deem the land condemned until they fix the problem. But we cannot trust them with that. We need to have people of the land in that conversations. You know, we should be first because we know how the waterways was. All this time there was no maintenance on the streams. Nobody cared about the streams. Nobody worried about what was coming down from a big storm, and now we see what happened. You know, the place is contaminated, but they're trying to remove the soil right now.
Have they tested any of that, or are they making a public contamination?
Well, they said they tested it. You know, I wasn't following, but they said they tested it, and they said it's contaminated.
So
You know.
are they saying that what do they want to do? Clean it? What did they say they're going to do?
Well, they said that according to what's happening now, they're cleaning them up now, but what's going to happen after? You know, what's going to happen after the cleanup and after they rebuild everybody's home, and then they find out the contaminants in the soil, and then these guys are going to like take the land. To me, I think we should get rid of all those poison spraying and stop them now instead of letting them continue, and we're just going to have the same thing happen over and over again. Soil is contaminated, the runoff going into the ocean, all the fish is contaminated. They contaminate the people because we swim in the ocean. But one thing good about the ocean, the salt water helps to kill bacteria. So the water is pretty salty out there. But we got to be out here actually living it, actually seeing it for yourself, and trust the media, trust the news to tell you what's going on around you. Everybody needs to come out and look at their surroundings and how the sun sets and rises, you know, and how the tides rise and drop, you know. I think that's all important. How the moon moves around, the stars, everything. How you come out here and you listen to the owls, you know. How the birds, you follow the bird on the shore, wherever the bird is, that's where the fish is, you know. But we cannot tell too much of our Ike on how kupunas taught us, you know, but we can teach the basics, and the basics can find you back home, you know. And if you guys don't know how or anything, come over there, hang out with us, you know. We welcome people to come hang out, you know. Just come with good intentions, you know. But and us, we don't drink, but I know that everybody drink, you know, but we like to try to keep it not really a drinking party, but more of a talking story party, you know. And yeah, we'll open the table small now for now, you know, and then eventually we can bring everybody in, you know. But it doesn't matter your color, it doesn't matter your race, it doesn't matter your looks, it doesn't matter your appearance. What matters is our children and their future, because we're only passing by. They're going to be here when we're not going to be here, so we need to make sure it's secure for them so they don't have to ask anybody for permission to go in their own land and gather food if they ever had to, you know. And to me, I think if we get away from the corporate side of eating and come eat in the Aina, I think we would live longer, and I think we wouldn't need as much medical subscription as we have today, you know. Everybody dependent on the medical subscription, but they don't understand that all these guys are just practicing. Oh, hello, brother. All these guys are just practicing, and they're practicing on all of us. And if somebody higher up give them something that they gotta practice and they don't know nothing about, all they can say is they're doing their job, you know. That's why they call them practitioners. But out there is the real food, the real life, the real medicine. Whatever you need is right here in Aina. And they're just trying to take everything that can sustain us. They're trying to take that away from us. So, yeah.
And so you guys, after the storms, you guys felt like drawn to move debris from the road.
Yeah. Move the rubbish, pick up the rubbish, maybe bring some pride back into our land, you know. Maybe bring some pride back into our land, and maybe so everybody can see the example, you know. We're just trying to lead by example. We're not trying to single anybody out, you know. We're trying to, because we once was on that side, you know, desecrating Aina. We wouldn't think, we would be like, my taxpayer money pay for cleaning up this Aina. The guys come in there, clean up the park every day. But if you stay out there every day and you see that the park guys only can do so much, our people supposed to be the one out there taking care of them. Everybody who come and enjoy this place supposed to be here for take care of them, you know, and malama this place, because this place malama us when we need one place to come and rest and, you know, cruise and bring our family, you know, and enjoy and catch some fish and, you know, even catch some meat, you know, everything. Gather all up all from here. But if we get too much invasives, the natives cannot grow. So, yeah, this way we at.
And then you guys planted the mala?
Yeah, we planted it right before the storm because I wanted to see if the plants was going to grow without me watering them through the storm. And we planted it before the storm. I never watered it. And the thing just grew by itself, like it grabbed onto the ground and started growing. The taro, the dirt wasn't really dirt, it was only sand, so the roots was kind of pulling him all kind of ways, you know, trying to find the dirt. So I had to put them more back. I had to pull them back out and replant them. So we're learning, you know, that's all we learn in Aina. We don't know that much, but the Aina going to teach us everything, you know.
Practice, yeah?
Yep. Practice. And the Aina going to show us, you know. Even how the rain kind of sticked around all this time. Like normally this time the mountains is dry and ready for a brush fire, you know. You gotta watch out with those guys with this wildfire thing with Josh Green and the National Guard, because normally when they talk about things, you gotta watch out because they're planning these things. So we always gotta be on both sides watching.
They also use it as an excuse to move in, like after a big storm.
Yeah.
Then you make new rules, and then you kind of edge out other people.
Yes.
And then you can use it to sell. I mean,
Yep.
it's kind of easier if there's like no one there.
Yes.
It's more easy to control.
Yep.
I mean, they think.
That's why I think out here they didn't expect us to come before they put up the signs, but we was here before they put up the signs. So now they cannot tell us that it's trespassing because we was here before any signs they was putting up. And now that we're in this spot now I guess we gotta be the sign, you know, and we gotta I don't know, we're willing to go whatever direction they want to go, you know, because the intention is not to cause any harm. The intention is just to come home and bring all people home, so we're not priced out of paradise and we can have our land, our water, and not reverse osmosis water from the sewage plant, but actually nice spring water coming out from the natural springs, you know, the living water.
And you guys came here, and then you started to plant a lot of different things back there.
Yeah, we started to plant. The first thing we planted was the uwala, the sweet potato. And then after that we planted the taro, the kalo, haloa. And then after that we planted the tea leaf. And then from tea leaf we went to papaya and avocado, and then now we got tapioca. You know, we're trying to bring up stuff that can kind of grow fast so we can kind of start sustaining ourselves already, you know. Because I know papaya grow fast, I know sweet potato, it grows abundant, and I know tapioca, it grows pretty fast. I know you can wait to 6 to 8 months to pull the roots, you know. So,
And they call it biohazard?
yeah, biohazard.
For the-
I think it's a biosecurity instead of a hazard, eh?
Well, it's a hazard for the system.
Yeah, it's a hazard for the system.
So it
Yeah.
endangers the system.
Yes.
Control. But they came over here. Are you one of the first people that use this biohazard thing on?
Yeah, I'm the first. Well, not the first.
Oh.
I heard Daniel Anthony,
You answer.
Manai. Yeah, I heard they came on his farm and they came on there and look what they had, and then they started talking about children. That was kind of weird, you know. That's weird energy. If they can come into your place of comfort, your place of safety, and your place of gathering and feeding your family and teaching them so they can teach their families for generations, and they come in here and start questioning about their kids. To me, I think that's something we got to look into, because they're really after our kids and our land, and their land, not our land, because we're not going to be here when they, you know, when they get older, you know.
Because they were threatening, because they figured, yeah, you can threaten someone, you know,
Yeah.
with, and yeah, they're, you know, everything. They're how they survive, and then their generations.
Yes, yes.
So it's kind of authoritarian mindset.
Yeah, and then why not go after the farm that helps feed a lot of families, you know? Why not go after a farm like that? But they're just thinking if they can do it to some strong points like us, they can do them to anybody. And that's why we cannot let them win this fight. Yeah.
So yeah, so you're just being yourself,
Yep.
trying to practice and then see what works.
Yes.
And you're trying to be honest.
Yep. Trying to be honest, trying to not have to resort to selling drugs, you know, not trying to resort to maybe I don't know, robbing some people or robbing stuff, you know. We like to resort in Aina so that we can be free. We all can be free, you know. And I think that's the beauty of this now, is we can kind of watch everybody come together, because nobody wants to be publicly humiliated, you know. And back in the couple system, everybody who did something wrong was publicly humiliated. And that's what we're missing today, because there's no humiliation. Everybody just hide everything they do, and they don't have accountability. And now this system that the most corrupt people, authoritarians, that is trying to take our land, nobody holding them accountable. They don't even have nobody holding them accountable. They just make their own raises. They tell you what they're going to do. We the people, they work for us. But seems like in this day and age, they work for the biotech billionaires and all these guys trying to push their 2030 agenda.
While you were talking, I was remembering sacred groves. So like I'll share the story, forgive me for doing this, but for like thousands of years, 10,000 years, they had sacred groves on Hokuonos throughout the world.
Yes.
Where no one would touch an area, like a big area. No one would go in there only for, you know, various things they gotta do.
Yes.
And so they did that, and the people, because they kept that place nice, a lot of things came out. They just built farms around it, and a lot of riches just came out of there naturally. You know, they never had to go in.
Yep.
It just was healthy around there.
Yeah, it was already.
So their villages around the sacred grove lasted for thousands of years as civilizations rose and fell. They just stayed there. But as the modern lack of diversity, the system, capital, you know, capital I call it,
Yes.
came in, and they said, oh look, we'll declare it protected by, you know, this government. So they took over the sacred grove. And then now the people never felt like they were part of taking care of the sacred grove. So it wasn't theirs.
Yes,
they weren't
yes.
involved.
Yep.
It was a fence.
Yes.
So then they started stealing from the sacred grove, sadly, and
Yep.
just taking out. But the main people who took was not these little things. it was the government who gave permission to loggers to go in there. So when
Yep.
they say they're protecting it, they're protecting it
For them.
the system that
Yeah.
constantly must eat,
Yep.
must expand.
Yep.
That's their idea of protection.
Yes.
Constantly eating.
Yep.
You know, so it's like it's hard to depend on that. Instead, it's better to depend on people who are there. I would argue, been there thousands of years,
Yes.
who know, living.
Who keep the forest going.
Yeah, right.
Yep.
I mean, I just have to share that.
Yeah. And I think that us guys, we're part of that, We're part of keeping that forest going. And from small kid time, my dad used to always stress that in our yard we always get food to eat, so that we don't have to depend too much on the stores, And then even meat, whatever we needed, we got our protein from the ocean, we got the protein from the mountain, and then all the vegetables was pretty much grown in our yard or in the neighbor's yard, and all we did was share. No, even Glenn too, he shared my videos. I'm like,
Oh, you guys silent protesters, like you guys protest, just switch to your music. You guys don't say nothing. Like, yeah.
Raichi. Oh, yeah. Yes. Sir. My name was a kind of, what I say my name was? Oh, Justice Summerall. Before we used to go to the gas station and pull up in the gas station with a cooler full of fish. I used to tell the auntie at the gas station, whatever fish she likes, she come grab them. And after that, she tell us, fill up you guys' cars. If you guys get propane, let us know. We fill them up for you, And that's how the barter system was, But I just hope one day we can come back to that, more of person to person trusting each other instead of trusting the corporates to feed us and give us everything that we need.
They're called Pilina.
Yes, Pilina, yes. Yep. So we can work together, helping each other out so we can build each other up, I think.
Yeah, it's also the Pilina, the relationships, so you're
Yes.
really relating to one another.
Yes.
Giving,
Yes.
food needs.
Yes.
So it's not like scarcity.
Yeah, it's not like you owe me, I owe you. It's not like that. It's like we're giving from our heart, from our garden, It's like life feeding me, I feeding you, And together we can work together to help other people see it the same way,
And what do you think? And like this helps add to the whole basket of food.
Yep.
And sharing.
Yes.
And you're here in this place, and you really get more perspective on possibility.
Yes.
You see things more three-dimensional,
Yes.
not just flat in the city.
Nope.
You only can see
Yeah, only one way.
one.
Only one way. Still on the same plane. Right wing, left wing. Nah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
then
yeah.
you cannot stretch your eyes.
Yeah. You don't have to. You can just stay here, right here. That's all you need. Nobody can change your station. No TV can tell you any different. No TV can tell you anything that's going to happen or anything that did happen. You see it in real time, right here.
And I remember Iki, he was at Haleiwa Harbor.
Yeah,
He lived there so many years, and he made this beautiful kind of sanctuary.
Yep.
And told me so many stories of all the creatures from the sea.
yeah, everything.
That you see amazing stories.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
He told me, so you'd be surprised
Yep.
what is possible.
Yep. Out there you see a lot, And you feel them too because it's a spiritual thing. All our kupunas are still here, And I don't know, I love it. I love being out there. People tell me, are you scared of the dark? Nope. Are you scared of the ghosts? No, you should be worried about the living, But if we live Ahupu'a style, we shouldn't be worried about anything but feeding our community,
And he told me how he used to catch some fish over there.
Oh, yeah.
You've seen people fishing
Yeah.
way away from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are plenty of people. Yeah.
Yeah, and so you're going over here at Mala. And
Yeah. Yeah, we're growing some stuff over here. We get tea leaf, we get sweet potato, tapioca, papaya, avocado, and some herbs. Yeah, some herbs to cook with. We didn't work on the herbs for the laola pao yet, but eventually.
So you're kind of like almost near the upper northern part of the
Yeah.
You're like at your Kaina Point.
Yeah.
So that's near
Right after Alia is kind of point. Is it?
we got to remember Waianae is right over there.
Yeah, and the Aupua from this side goes to Waianae too.
Oh, it does.
Yeah, it's both Waianae. Well, it's actually Wailua Aupua Stuyet on that side. So they're both Kealia right over the mountain, and then Keawaula first before you hit Kaena. So even Keawaula is Aupua on both sides. So the thing runs from the mountain to the sea on both sides.
We forget.
Yes, and then the point, Kaena Point, that was La'amaikaiki, that was a fishing village. And we know that they destroyed one of our heiaus over here. They destroyed one of the springs, so now we're trying to go back in there and trying to figure out what we can do to maybe try to bring it back, because I know if we live off the land will teach us what used to be.
What else would you like to express that way? That passion about it?
I don't know, I just would love to see more people coming out here and maybe planting and growing and doing more stuff like this, and living free, more free than living oppressed by the system, you know. Always worried about everything. Always worried about somebody coming after you. Always worried about not enough money to pay the bills. Always worried about, everybody is one paycheck away from being, you know, well, they say houseless, but it's our home. We can never be homeless. So I know I was one check away from being houseless, and here we stay now. But the reason why I had to get rid of this stuff is because of the addictions. You know, I was addicted to opiates, and the only way I could get rid of my addiction is I had to get rid of the good money, that lifestyle, you know. I could just buy them any place, wherever I wanted to go. And now I think living like this, I think I'm more alive, you know, more alive and not in my room tired and, you know, all in pain. Out there we deal with our pain daily, you know, there's no stopping. We gotta keep going. And I think we'll be more healthy now. Learning to be healthy, learning to live back in Aina. But this whole thing that we stay out here, we was only coming out here, sleeping out here. You know, we was only sleeping out here. Come out here at nighttime, we set up, we go sleep. But even then, the police was coming out and harassing us. But after the storms, we couldn't move, we couldn't go any place, because by the polo field, the road was completely covered. You know, and I didn't want to drive my only vehicle in the water and possibly a vapor lock, you know, with water going into your intake manifold. And I didn't want any of my computer system to go bad, so we kind of stayed here and kind of hunkered down, and we stayed in a tent throughout these 2 storms. And I know people, when they was driving by, they was like looking at us like untouched. But this place right here protects us. You know, this place protects us and keep us safe. And this place always, like, I don't know, you just feel safe out there. You don't feel any kind of bad feeling out there, you know. Sometimes you might see some passing by on the road, but those feelings go away, you know. There's no bad feeling in this area. Just that the feeling of knowing that they destroyed our ancestral sites, you know. And now for us to find it, we're gonna have to find it. And we're gonna have to put it back together, you know. Put it back all together so we can use it like how it was used back then. And that's why we wanted to find out, but we gotta get some history in there. That's why we gotta ask Uncle Liko, because I know they get more ancient knowledge than us, you know. Whatever we're finding out now, we're finding out through books, paperwork, and everything, you know. They're trying to find them. They found them in Ike, you know, dancing, chanting, living, loving, you know, nurturing. And that's why we gotta go. We have to take care of kupuna. And we gotta make sure that they're safe too, you know. We gotta make sure that the knowledge that they hold and they keep, we hold and keep the same sacredness that they have, you know, and not just use it just to win people's likes or high fives or anything. It's not about that. We gotta hold on to it for the rest of our existence, because that's the only way we're gonna learn on how we can go back to where we came from, and we can go back to being who we came from. You know, so I love it. And now we try to lead by example by cleaning up even the trash on the weekends, even during the week. Sometimes the people put their trash in the trash can. Most of the people now, they take their trash out. They take their own trash home. And before, the people used to put all the trash bags around the rubbish can, and then sometimes they set up on the side of the road, and then they just bring their bags out, and then they just leave it there. But that's not a proper place to put it, because that's not where the trash cans are. You know, you can at least designate that area or take it to the trash can. So at least if the trash do get all over, at least we're not gonna have to pick up like little rubbish here, little rubbish there. So at least it's gonna be by the rubbish can. So we just try to clean up and pick up, not because other people make a mess, not because other people leaving them, not because the dogs flip over the rubbish can. We do it because we love this place, and now we understand that if we're going to live one trashy life and leave the trash around, what example we're going to be to our next generation and the generations to come. Because if the next generation see us guys leaving trash all over, doing all kinds of stuff that is not safe, they're going to think that it's safe. We do them all the time, and they're going to think that they can do them too, you know. And then eventually our curse going to be cursed forever, because now we're not going to have any of the older generations trying to correct or trying to lead by example. We cannot be always in a corrective mindset. We got to be in one more example leading, so people can follow. And they can pick up off of the example, you know, and not try to force them in their face and tell them, hey, this is the only way for doing, and this is the only way it's gonna work. There are plenty of ways a lot of people can do them, you know, and any way that you can contribute to taking care of the aina, I think is good, you know. Even if you go 5 minutes, buy one rubbish can, pick up 5 pieces of paper, you know, that's still something, you know, you're doing something. And I think if we live like that, love you, brother. I think if we live like that, life will be more simple. I think we can actually enjoy our family instead of oppressed by somebody's time clock, you know. And we always got to be out there, the hustle and bustle, always trying to make sure they get money, make sure they get electric, make sure they get clothes, make sure they get food. You know, back then we had one copper cloth that used to go around our waist, and that's all we used to use for shower, we used to go inside the ocean and inside the river. You know, we never needed to go inside on shower where they put fluoride water to where we don't know what they're poisoning. You know, that guy from Bottled Water Supply, he could be paid from the billionaires to poison all us off. You know, we don't know. But that's why we need people in these places so we can hold people accountable and maybe find the truth in all this corruption that's going on. But I know if we first come back to Aina and we leave Aina and we forget about their money system, they're all going bankrupt. The system depends on Hawaii. Hawaii is the light of the world. This is the place where everybody, all the religions, all the ethnicities, everything, they all meet here. You get caught in a war out there. Sometimes, like the different countries that they go and fight with, they end up bringing more people from that place here to live, to seek refuge. And us guys getting priced out of our own home. We cannot even afford to think anymore. Now we got to go back to the realization that the ways of our ancestors was always the smartest way to do things, you know. And I choose to do that, and I encourage people to hopefully find it in themselves soon, because there's a lot of imagery out there with this money thing. Money make you look good, money make you do these things, but you know, in the world that we're living in now, if the money was to crash, do you guys with money know how to catch fish? Do you guys with money know how to sing one song? Do you guys with money know how to plant something? Do you guys with money know how to love family without the title of always having like the big and rich and fancy stuff, you know? We can be fancy and rich with the bare minimum, you know? We don't need to portray an image that people like to see us as, you know? Because now people forget about the people who used to only wear the cloths and go around planting and growing with everything hanging out, but they were simple. They didn't have to hoard nothing. We didn't need dressers to put clothes in. We didn't need freezers to put our food in. Everything was preserved by the Aina when we're going to eat them. That's what we do. We pick out stuff. We don't eat all day. And I know I got caught up in that lifestyle for a little while, you know. We could buy and eat anything that we wanted. Going to Outback Steakhouse, eating the fattest steaks, the 30-ounce steaks, you know, like going to the bar, drinking 7 pitchers with the boys, while the family waiting for you. Like, to me, I don't know. I think we should just bring our family back home so we can live in Aina. We can know who's staying in our ahupua'a, and we know that we're not contributing to the landfill like Amazon. We got to talk about that one too. The Honolulu land that these guys trying to develop, Amazon. Yeah, I think Amazon is a bad thing for us, because with Amazon here, guaranteed they're gonna have to put in landfill because of all the trash that they're bringing in. And you look at how much delivery vans that they get, how much trash going to everybody, because you know the packaging, it's not only the outside box, it's the inside box, it's the inside package, it's the package itself. That's all trash. And then if the thing broke and go faulty within the next month, all that gonna end up in a landfill. So we gotta think more sustainable mindset in our thinking on our use of these things, you know, because none of those stuff's gonna make us smart. I think the Aina will make us smarter and make us realize that they was telling us the real lies before, and we wasn't looking with our real eyes. But now we realize that we're in reality now. We gotta live. We cannot be blinded by this system or blinded by idolatry. Everybody worship idolatry with the money, you know, but we don't understand. We worshiping other gods before the natural ones, you know, and we worshiping that God so much that these guys think that they can just build anything in the back of this place, because They're gonna put it out, they're gonna tell you the reason for it, and then they're gonna create the chaos that comes with it so that they can try to say that they're protecting us from it. But we all gotta wake up, not wake up, but we all gotta look around and really see what's going on. They don't care about us. They don't care about our existence. They just want all of us dead. They get about 10 billion people in the world today. They like the population be down to 2 billion. So that right there tells you a lot. They like take 95% of us and only leave 5% of us left. So that way they can do whatever they want. They want this whole place to be robotic living, robotic working, so they don't need to depend on the working person anymore. They like everything be computerized because their fantasy in science is far beyond, you know. It's way gone with science. And science was good in the beginning, but now they're using science to create all these other things that would actually work against humanity. So I don't know, later on we'll show you guys in our mala in the backyard, our community garden, because everybody is welcome to come and plant and hang out and enjoy this time and space with us. So yeah. Over here is on dump site. People used to dump air conditioning, ice box. Used to have tires over here. As you can see, you get car parts all over here. But yeah, we started cleaning them out right before the storms. Started cleaning them out because we was thinking in case the bush burned, you know, the thing not going to affect us on the hill, you know. So we started to open them up, and we wanted to plant, but we was thinking we never know what they was going to say. So I was like, we just go plant anyway, go clean them up, take care of the place better than what it is. And then, what you back? Yep.
Yeah, I got him.
Yeah. Your root right there.
Yeah, I got him.
Yeah, but yeah. We was thinking just come over here, clean out the land, and then try to plant some stuff that maybe we can sustain ourselves, and try to live over here, you know, like. And we started planting and growing all this stuff, but we just started now, so
this is
took us like, the uwala, and then this is the herb right there.
Is that oregano? What is that?
Oregano, yeah. Some oregano. We got them from Nani Brown. And then the ginger, got them from Nani Brown. This uwala, we got them from Nani Brown. And the tea leaf.
Oh yeah, there's the
tea leaf avocado, we got them from Jeff. And then the noni in the back there. Some of that one, and taro. And this right there was here. I don't know what is this, so I like learn what is this. I don't know. I think that's a native plant. So, and grass. Yep.
So this is the one you transplanted more far back.
Yeah, and the thing was up there in the sand, and I think the roots kept pulling back and forth. So I planted it over here because a little bit more soil from the tree and all the leaves. You know, get nice soil underneath this tree. So just figure planted them over here. And now that we open it up, we got sun pretty much all day. So it's like riding on the borderline all day. So try them here. Hopefully the moisture stays in the ground. And then all this pores over here, that was all in here. But we got the tea leaf and the avocado on that side. We just planted that tea leaf the other day, so it looks green. It's gonna go through the process of coming brown and catching up. But we got the tapioca in the back, right there. And then on the side we got papaya. But we like work all this out, work it all the way back, and then plant more. And then find the water. Find the water, because in this place is known to have natural springs. So we like find them. We might be standing on it. You never know, you know. And the heiau that they destroyed. So it's a work in progress, but we love doing this stuff. None of this grass, overgrowth. I think that's pretty good soil. All this right there, I was saving them to make one natural fence line, but I'm gonna end up removing them and taking them all out because I like to take all this out. See how nice and cool under here? Nice and cool. But over here, get good soil. Wanted to keep all the leaves here. And then maybe put some manure and stuff to break it down so that we can have good soil. Maybe hopefully later on, maybe get on pig or something, you know, pig or two, and maybe some goats, you know, for cut grass. But yeah, it's a lot of work, but it's pretty good for the amount of time that we've been here. I'm pretty happy of the outcome because whatever you see around, that's how tall the bushes was all the way around. We kind of wipe them out pretty fast too, all by hand. I think the only thing we had was the weed eater, but the weed eater kind of cut these weeds good, so I'd rather pull them out so that way you don't have to worry about them. Get rid of the invasives instead of just trimming them. And after the rain, it comes back. But if you notice, the places where there's no tall trees covering the ground, all around here is green. But you look at the places we get the howdy-po, all in the back, it's not as green as right here, you know. So I think if we remove the brush and all the invasive howdy-po, I think the natives gonna grow right back. I think we gotta open them and make space for them to come back, just like our people, you know. We gotta make room so our people can come back. So, but it's not about just our people, you know. But it would be nice if they could put our people first, you know, so then our people can share. Our people will get plenty love in their heart, you know. The system will make them seem like they're mad and mean and always trying to battle something, but it's just that too much trauma was put on our bloodlines and our existence, and now we're struggling to survive because there's too much overpowering already, authoritarianship. Everybody wants to be of high authority. But in my growing up years, my dad was one of the people who would question authority. He see who has actual authority over us, because they cannot just take you and lock you up someplace where you know nothing about, you know. You have no, they built these jails for our people, you know, to lock us up and take us away from our family, take us away from our living in the, you know, make us lose our consciousness, make us lose our lives, make us lose our mental capacities. But if you read in old books, they cannot steal your land by mere mental illness. You know, we know and we're well aware, well alive now, more than ever. So we're going to continue to do this and hopefully wake up the masses and knowing the truth. And that's all we're going to fight for, is the truth, and fight for the Aina and fight for our existence and just live happy and pono, you know. We got to do everything that is right for all generations, for the future generations, and for the kupuna that was here before us, you know. They was here trying to speak about it, but obviously you can tell that they took our language, you know, and now they consider it dead. the dead language, but there's more people now today trying to learn the language because all the Ike is in the language too, you know. We can connect more deeper in that way too, in that sense, because we can actually read the Palapala that they put together back in the day, because they've written everything in Olelo. But that's why they're trying to banish our language, so we don't teach this stuff. You know, we was always in the forgiveness mode, survival forgiveness. Like we even thought that we was the problem. You know, hey, no speak the language. You know, that's shame, making our family shame. You know, we gotta start speaking the language, speaking up, and letting our kids actually have one voice instead of keeping them quiet. You know, we gotta let them have one voice. Back then, whenever we used to talk, we always was like silent. We was always mute, but we was to be seen and not to be heard. But now, I think we should be heard and seen, so that everybody know who we are, instead of hiding. You know, hiding behind everything. You know, share Ike, share the knowledge, share some of your genealogy. Some people hold it sacred. To me, I hold it to where I like everybody know who we come from, so that when we go around, all the families who connected to us and all the families that connected to them will know, hey, they're part of the family. You know, I like all the kids know who is their cousins, who is their relationship with, you know, who our families was raised up together with, you know. And I just like that, because my grandma, when we used to go to her house in Makaha, everybody used to come together. My grandma, they had 15 kids, so we always had family gatherings or church. And in church and in religion, they would discourage you for looking up your genealogy. You know, they said it's a waste of time, but me, I understand why they would say that now, you know, and why they would actually say and try to discourage you from looking up who you are, because that's really who we are. They don't want us to know who we are. They want us to believe that somebody else know who we are, and that when we close our eyes and when we bow down and pray, that our heaven is somewhere in the sky. Well, I'm here to tell you that our heaven is right here on earth, because after we pass away, we're going back to Aina. We're not going somewhere in the sky. We're going to be here. Our bones are going to be in this Aina. And hopefully someday the roots of these trees hit the Ike that our kupuna left behind, and the air that we breathe. We can understand more of what they was trying to say, you know, now in these days. Open up our eyes to seeing what happened back then. Do the genealogy and find out how it was connected to all the stuff that went happen to us. And when you start to see the stuff that happened to us, you get mad, you build up hatred, but in the end, the hate is only going to be us. You know, we're going to be living with the burden of hating the other person, you know. We don't need to hate nobody in this day and age. We can do now is love and have more compassion for the world, because as you can see now, these guys are lovers of themselves. They're lovers of themselves, meaning only themselves. They don't love family. They don't love anything that going take away from their superiority or authority, you know, authority. But I think if we can have some compassion, like old times, how we all used to share, and going back to trusting each other, you know, trusting the people that you live around, trusting the people that you surround yourself with, instead of always looking over your shoulder and thinking somebody owe you something or you owe somebody something, you know. There's always trust in going back to Aina. We can go back to Aina, we can trust our families, trust our friends. We don't need to trust the system and depend on everything that they want to sell us, you know, because everything they sell us is lies. Lies and lies and lies. They make the story like they're going to come back and save us. Nobody going to save us. We gotta save ourselves, and it's very important now to move in that direction. And I find peace in this. I find comfort in trying to do stuff like how our ancestors did, but we're using these tools, but I'm pretty sure our tools are just as good as these, but maybe better, you know. But I know one thing they used to use was the old bar, and that right there, I gotta get me one. But put fish guts inside first. Okay. With black eye. Plant the other tea leaves inside. And coconut tree. And then we get some native grass instead of the invasives. Thing right there was the kind had all brown leaves on top. As soon as I put them in the ground, all the brown leaves fell off and the green leaves came out. All the brand new leaves. But I get plenty more cleaning for do, but one of our tapiocas died over tea leaf. Just didn't drop down in the ground yesterday. Not a biohazard. Historical sites. We like go find them. You know, even some of them that they say that they didn't damage them. We like see where the damages was made. We like see how bad the damages is, because they can come here and just wipe out all cultural sites just for the sake of paving or something with the sand. To me, I think inside here, the quarry shouldn't have been running right now, because you get all the sand, you know, in the sand dunes. That's where they used to like to bury our people too, you know.
So there was a sand quarry there?
Yeah, had all sand. But I think that was on cinder quarry, but was sand all around, eh? And that's why I was like, you know, they was mining the sand too, guarantee. Because why they had to move our heiau, you know, why they didn't destroy them. We gotta know these things. Gotta know who didn't destroy them. Who was the people that was working in here that took over the land and just ran over. To them, it's a pile of rocks. To us, these were sacred to us for thousands of years. And people come in here, not even 200 years, and they can just come in here and wipe out our existence, wipe out our heiaus, wipe out our places that we used to gather, and then deem them unlivable. You know, we had all the livable conditions before they came. Now this system made it unlivable for us, because we cannot even be free outside in the, I know, eventually they like put curfews on us, you know, but yeah, that's our next mission. We're gonna find out where our heiaus there in here. Looks like a lot, but it's not that much. We can do it, because if I can do it, anybody can do it. You know, I might not be looking like the top of cheapest guy, but I think we still can work, you know. As long as we still can work and we feed ourselves in Aina, eventually we're gonna come back healthy, you know. But yeah, again, we can never be homeless in our home, so we overcome and adapt, and we're just gonna keep planting, keep cleaning, keep planting, keep cleaning, keep planting. Every time we go catch fish, I'm gonna put all the guts and all whatever we know eat, whatever leftover or shouldn't have leftovers, but whatever carcasses we can put, we're gonna put them in the ground for fertilizer. And we're gonna learn from there. catch of the day. I'm going to eat fish today. My boy right now. I'm just going to go get some lure and some fish for us to eat. Yeah. So I said it's possible. If us guys can do them, anybody can do them. And we're willing to teach and, you know, teach and hopefully everybody can learn. But that's it. Got the Nenui, the Ore, the Polani, and then the Umamalays. Yeah.
How come you kind of stayed on here, but there's houses down there?
Yeah.
You kind of stayed.
Yep.
And you're the only one cleaning up
Yep.
after everybody.
Yep. Yeah, there's always things you do. Yeah, as long as we get some place to stay. Well, that would be killers. That we all can get one place to stay too, eh?
Tell me about the good old